We've got Professor Matthew Kolawole, who is a virologist. He's also the Director, Institute of Molecular Science and Biotechnology of the University of Ilorin. Good morning, sir, and thank you for joining us this morning. Well, already there were those who saw some information and thought, wait a minute, is Ilorin about to give us a vaccine? Speak to that.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much for bringing me on board this morning. Well, good news for us anyway. We have started something like a proposal. Hopefully you agree with me that vaccine development takes a lot of time, but of course we have to start from somewhere. So what we have started with is the proposal which we have put up together with a team of researchers in the university and outside the University of Ilorin. Nigeria at this time, we need to look inward, particularly to the point of vaccine development. Knowing fully well that the COVID-19 have been reported that we have several mutant strains now. And of course, in Nigeria, we have community transmission, and this cannot be, underemphasized. So in other words, we need to look inwards to begin to look at how we could develop our own vaccine. Even if we have vaccines outside that will be sent here, it's possible that the strains in Nigeria might not be effective for the strains here in this country. So we have been on this track for many years before. In the next 73 days, before we go back memory lane, Nigeria were developing vaccines that we're even sending across the West African nations. So what happened? So we need to return back to the track, and that's what we are trying to do. As an institution, we are promoting that we want to return back to vaccine development, along with researchers within the, indigenous researchers within Nigeria, in other institutions. So we are collaborating together, and we have put up a proposal which will be very effective for us to commence.
When you say there's been a proposal, or there is a proposal, and it's been there for many years, was there a proposal when we had Ebola? We've had Lassa fever for a while now. Is there a proposal for that one as well?
Yeah, I think the issue that we need to look into more deeply is the fact that vaccine development has to do with first stage is a proposal, which I want to believe that scientists, which obviously has proposals, which we also have done. But of course, there is a need for follow-up, which has to do with funding. The technical know-how and the human resources, where Nigeria is highly endowed with people like this. We have experts in this country. So all we need is for us to moved on. We need to move on from the stage of proposal to the stage of funding. And because vaccine development is not a day's job, it takes time. We have the preclinical phases and then the clinical phases and all the like. So it is essential that as institutions, as a country, we need to return back the track and then begin to fund all these proposals. The possibility of Lassa vaccine, the possibility of other vaccines too. But we need to look at our resources, our human resources, which we have the technical expert, and then empower them with funds so that these researches can be carried out in the laboratories. Thank you.
Professor, maybe the problem with the term is the word vaccine. Forgive me. I know that that's the professional thing, that's the medical thing, that's the scientific thing to do. But maybe the problem is with the word vaccine, because it has to go through all the process to become such a thing as a vaccine. But do you think there is a possibility of a quick fix local solution? We remember in time, not too long ago, earlier, in the month of March, the DG of NAFDAC said our low-hanging fruit are herbal medicines. She didn't talk about vaccine in that context, but do you see anything that, we can do as a nation to come up with something that, maybe not a vaccine, but something that is useful?
As I said earlier, we are endowed with a lot of resources. Yeah, thank you. That's what I'm saying. Nigeria, we are endowed with a lot of human resources. Also, we also have things we can look inward to. Medicinal plants are all there. Researchers have been done severally in other institutions and even research institutes. All we need is to harness all these researches and then put them together. What we are having in case of Madagascar is not, they are not special than us. We have all these plants and medicinal plants all around us here. So these are just, these are some of the front line we need to channel our attention to, return back to the basis of what we are good in. As I said before, of course, we have research potentials in this country. And we have all the resources within us that we can use to generate immediate solutions to this problem and also a long-term solution. Vaccine, of course, we can look at it as a long-term issue because it has to take some process time. But of course, there are other means which you have rightfully said, that we have herbs, we have plants that, of course, have this potency that people have researched into in the country that have a potency against some viral infections or some other bacterial infections. So we can also look back, harvest all this, channel them into the laboratory, and then begin to look at how we can also get immediate
all right, Professor
Kolawole.
So what we'll do, we'll come back to you in a moment. We'll look back and perhaps also look forward when we return. Please stay with us. Welcome back. All right, Professor Kolawole still with us, talking about getting a solution, possible vaccine. From your perspective, I mean, having looked back and seen where and what we're doing to get ourselves a solution and moving forward, how do you think we should be approaching all of these things? Because there will always be questions as to how we have approached medical research in this country, the capacity of our medical research, and the chances of us getting anything, not just this period, but moving forward. How do you think we should approach all of this such that we won't find ourselves clutching at straws, not even doing something to get us a solution?
Thank you very much. It boils down to the fact that we need to start again.
We can hear you. Go ahead, please.
It boils down to the fact that we need to go back again to the drawing board, start again where we lost the track. And we were actually doing this in the 70s, 73. We were producing vaccines in this country. And in other words, it means that we need to return back to begin to fund research in institutions, fund research within the universities, not just funding the research, also using the product of research for policy implementation and also for industrialization. There's a need for relationship between the town and the gown. Industries need to come in to support research in the universities. Donors, individuals, philanthropists need to come in also to support research in our institutions. Now, if there's a drive for research in this country, of course, we'll get to a point where we'll not be taken unaware when we have cases of infections. Would have been on track so that when we have cases of outbreaks like this, it will not come like a surprise to us. And so we have already been on track to be able to, halt such kind of problems that might come up in future. So I want to return back to the fact that there's a need for us to, as a country, to fund research, particularly that has to do with research that has to do with things, emerging infectious disease, which are current within our environments today. Thank you.
Talk to us about you're a virologist, so talk to us about the nature and culture of this virus in particular. We all know it's a new virus, according to what you all have told us. Talk to us about the culture or the nature or the characteristics of this new virus, and how possible is it for a local solution, like the ones such as you mentioned earlier, herbs and all, how potent are they against this COVID-19? And you also talked about research. How bad is this funding problem that you have talked about for research in Nigeria?
Well, coronavirus belongs to the family of Coronaviridae. It's an RNA virus, which, of course, not new to us, is a flu virus. I must use these points to let us know that this virus has been with us. It's just that we have the novel strain of coronavirus, which is in circulation globally all over the world. So coronavirus, we have reported coronavirus OC43 strain in Nigeria in 2017, a research conducted by my group. We also reported OC229/NL63, another strain of coronavirus, which we reported in Nigeria in 2017. So that speaks to the fact that this virus has been with us. So it's a flu, and that's the essence why we need to be much more careful as a result of the fact that we need to follow all the laid down precautions, particularly that has to do with the spread of the virus. Now, be as it may, it's emphasized, it's of emphasis that we need to look at the transmission routes of this virus. More particularly, it has to do with the fact that We need to prevent overcrowding. Part of the study which we did, part of the investigation which we did, the risk factors that was established in 2017 was the fact that overcrowding has been adduced to the spread of coronavirus. Now, having known this, with this new COVID virus, which is in circulation, we need to put all this into place. And that is the essence why NCDC regulations and WHO guidelines stipulates that we must, keep social distancing. And this is very important for us as a nation. We all have to take responsibility. We are dealing with a virus which has a high level of transmissibility. This is almost a bit different from Ebola. Now, Ebola is highly fatal, but the level of transmissibility is lower than COVID-19.
Right, Prof,
this
just
is
a moment.
Why we must be very, very cautious with this virus we are dealing with.
Right. I mean, you started off by saying...
Quite high.
Can you hear me, Prof? Well, you started off by saying that this has been with us. I mean, the coronavirus, and you say they belong to the same family. And I recall recently, France realized that their first case was not the one they recorded this year. They realized that they actually had recorded one case last year. And, alludes to the fact that maybe this has actually been with other countries before they realized it. So does this lend credence to that school of thought that says, well, this is something we've been dealing with over time, so why blow this one out of proportion? You may have heard the governor of Kogi State saying, well, this is not really a big deal. This is just causing panic. So does that lend credence to that school of thought that this has been with us for as long as we didn't know?
Yeah, we have non-severe strains, as I've said. And so the strain that is in circulation, the novel COVID strain, is a severe strain. And so there's a cause for alarm. There is actually a cause for alarm, knowing fully well that our environment that we are, most of the risk factors that will lead to transmissibility of this virus, the spread of the virus, are very peculiar to us here. We are densely populated nation. Our cities are densely populated. The idea of self-isolation is alien to us, and social distancing is alien to us. So there's a cause for alarm, extreme cause for alarm, I must say this. So it's very peculiar that even though we have had strains of the virus in the past, they are non-severe strains as such. But the strain that we have now, which is the COVID-19, is a severe strain. So in other words, it means that there's a need for us to be very, very careful. And that is the point I want to come in, that Nigerians must take this issue very serious. I have people saying that this is not true, that we have the COVID strain. I mean, what is special about this? There are, because we are dealing with a severe strain of this virus, which has not been with us, is severe, and this has been as a result of mutation. Because when we have several strains, it could be as a result of mutation also. So, and this is the reason why, as a country, we need to look inward to begin to do several research. There's a need for us now to
Professor, we need to wrap up at that point.
Diversity of the strain that is even found in Nigeria now. This
will
enhance
Matthew Kolawole is the
developed or designed prime.
All right, Professor, thank you for your thoughts this morning. As Director, Institute of Molecular Science and Biotechnology. He's also a virologist. He joined us from Ilorin. Thank you for your thoughts this morning.